This is a GitHub Spec Kit, which is a toolkit to help you get started with the spec-driven development. I know there's like a lot of craze. You can see there are like 67,000 people started, and then almost like 6,000 people are like forking it and like creating their own version of it. It's very easy to install. You just get a UV. It's like Python installation. Directly install it from a GitHub repository, and then do the specify or like specify init project, or if you already have a project, then you can do it with specify init here, and then you can choose what sort of coding tool you are using. And once you do that, there are like few commands, like not few, like there are like 4 or 5 commands we've been using, like constitution and specify, plan and task and implement. This kind of like remains your agile practice, where you define like all the rules which the developers has to follow, generally like solution architect or like principal engineer, like define the standards. And then in the specify, we talk about like what and why, not how. What and why of the requirement, and then we create a user stories and take the user stories, plan it in terms of like technical implementation. What is the software we're going to use, like what's the library we're going to use, and then define a task for the stories, like a decouple like manageable chunks, and then take each task and then implement your work. SpecKit being the GitHub, they seen like a lot of open source, I think like a #1 coding platform, so they know this like industry trucks us very well. So let's do this in practice and see how it's working. We're going to like do it live, and I'm going to take a project called Whiteboard. I love just like visual representation or like visual way of like explaining things, so I use a lot of time the public open source tool to draw it out. And then there are like enterprise tool called like Visio, and then like with the Confluence there's like a Glyphy. There are like so many tools out there, draw.io, and then xkali.